Alright, how's it going, YouTube? So we're going to bring you a quick update of a few cars after I just ran them. So I did just run this pipe on the 18SS. This was the pipe I normally ran. I had drilled the hole out. It was working pretty good. So it took me back to wanting to get this pipe up here. So I literally just went through this pipe. I opened it, tightened everything up, Loctited it. Now, I noticed that this pipe wasn't performing like Sammy has the same pipe, and it wasn't performing the same way, right? So, after I opened the pipe up, it had a piece in there. I'll actually take it off and show y'all so y'all can see what I'm talking about. And then we'll go from there. All right, YouTube, so just a quick breakdown, right? So, this piece was in here, okay? With a spring and a pin. So the pin, you could pretty much set this cone further back or all the way up, wherever you wanted the hose at. So where they had it was further back, so I pretty much only had about 3 holes breathing. The top hose was covered, so going all the way around. So what I did was I took it out now that all the holes can breathe wide open. So I'm gonna put the pipe back together real quick and then we can go from there. I wanted to take this baffle out, but I want to run it with it just for the simple fact I don't know if I'm gonna lose too much compression doing that. So let's go on to the side. All right, YouTube, so we back. I got the pipe back together just how I said it was, you know, on the inside. Took out that little baffle part. Hopefully I get a little bit more power with that, but just to show you the difference in the pipe, there's a noticeable difference. This pipe is wider. So what we're gonna try now is, right, we're gonna try this pipe with the baffle in there, like after I took out that piece. So we're gonna try that, see how that works. And then I want to take out the baffle and run it without it and see if that gives me any more horsepower or it robs me of horsepower. So let me know what y'all think. If I should, what do you think the baffle would give me more power or less power by taking it out? So anyway, I'm gonna put this back together and then I'm gonna get to the big block why I couldn't run it these past couple weekends. All right, she's all back together with this pipe. I'm gonna leave it like this for now. Only thing I want to try if I start getting a lean bog again is turning the tank around. So I do have the piece in there, but it's broken, so it should still block the it should still block it. If not, I'm gonna have to bring this piece out so this, you know. But anyway, we'll get to that. I'm gonna wrap this up and bring out the big block because I want to show y'all something. All right, YouTube, this is the big block. Let me go ahead and show you my struggle with this car now. After I changed the gearing on this car, let me take off the filter. So I changed the gearing on this car. That means I had to push the motor in because I went down on gearing. So what happened there now is, as you can see, I even put a thin pad in there because the pad is touching the flywheel ever so slightly. So I had these two, which is holding the brake pad, and then I had put an extra one in there. So now I just even put a 4th metal one back here, if you can see, to compensate so that the pad stays out more and the brake just works from right there. So I tried it a few times and it looks good, but every time I get out is when the problem occurs. So as of right now, I think it's fixed, so we just got to get out and test it. Now I do have another brake pad because this brake pad ain't gonna hold up very long. I have another one, so as long as we can fix it this way, I can put this one in there later on, because with the power I'm definitely gonna need brakes. So as of right now, this is fixed, so I can't wait to get this out, because remember, I'm still trying to hit brake 60 with this gearing that I just put up here. And hopefully we can, so that's going to be the next obstacle, so stay tuned for that. And I noticed today, messing with this, I had some broken spokes in here. Now I'm still running. I have a bunch of brand new contacts and Exceed foams. Is it Exceed? Let me see. It is. Yeah, Exceed foams. So I'm gonna run these though. Either way, as long as the car's not pulling, nothing's throwing off, we'll run those. So let me get the Mugen up here, show y'all a little something about that, and then we'll go. All right, YouTube. So we had a few mishaps with this car. For one, the pipe got a little bent. I managed. I didn't show it to y'all before, but me and Sammy had crashed into each other. I don't even think I got it on footage, but we crashed into each other, so I bent the pipe. This was like way over here, so I just put a screwdriver in there and bent it out. I did put a bigger hole in here as well, so I noticed it does sound a little louder, and it's running a little better as well. Now, as you know, well, if you don't, I used to run this battery up front, up here. So that's a lot of weight on the suspension. Up front makes the car like front heavy. So, you know, coming around the turns, the back easily slides out, kicks around. So that is a bit tricky. So I'm trying to get a battery. I'm going to get a battery to fit in there. Also, I noticed my back belt was loose because I had to change the bearings after I blew a bearing out. I actually got to drive this car for a good while the other day, for all day pretty much. So my back belt was loose. I tightened that up. There's little notches in there. Me and Sammy figured out what those was for. Now when I set this one up, I believe I set it up to the first one. Right now I have it on the middle one, so it tightened the belt. Now I'm trying to tighten the front belt, but I'm not having luck because of my, so y'all can see, one of these, this one came off, this one hasn't, and this sits on top of the one-way. So that's my struggle with that. I don't want to break nothing, so I'm not forcing it. So for right now, that's pretty much it with the car. I want to tighten up this front belt, but it's running good just how it is. So I'm not pressed for nothing. It's not squeaking, nothing's going on with it. Main concern is getting a battery to put it where it's supposed to be so the car could run how it's supposed to, which is level. And I also lowered the suspension because I noticed when we was running the other day, the car did like a little kick up in the back. So I just took some tension off of the shocks and it's nice and softer now. So I'm hoping that it's not too low, but I did take a lot of suspension out of it so the car could just handle the bumps a lot better. My next option is to change the fluid in here. I don't know what fluid is in here, but that's gonna be my next option. So other than that, we're good to go with this car. Just gonna get a battery and we're gonna run it some more. I'm loving this setup though. This is a good car. Definitely, it's with the one-way, it's very tight with the braking, so that's something to work on too. Now the MT, let me get that up here to just run that by y'all. All right, YouTube. So as far as the MT, what we did to it, we put the 3.0 in there. Oh, that thing is ripping. I'm loving it. And I also put the bigger hole in this pipe. So I'm noticing that as well. There is no baffle in this pipe, so it's just wide open. That's how I got it. I didn't take it out. I also had no cover for the back of the motor, so I had to just run it like this, but I bump started. Just hope not to get caught up in there. I know. And that's pretty much it. The suspension on this car is great. I believe it's stock. I got it from Sammy just like this. The servos, everything look brand new. So I'm assuming that it's the stock fluid in here because the car was really ran. And yeah, for off-road, this car handles amazing. Now my next plan is to make it a 2-speed. That's the next thing I want, is to make this car a 2-speed. Just to hear it ripping and hitting around those corners would be great. Plus it'll give me a little bit more top end. But other than that, that's all I got. I still have the low C's. I did bring the I'm not low seas, I'm sorry about that. I did bring the XTM out with me, but the battery was dead inside, and then I went ahead and left it on, so it even killed it even more. But we'll get those out too. That's the short course trucks. I still need to break in the Savage motor after the repinch so I could get that out. It's been a while for that, so I'm just looking for a good rotor start. I keep breaking them. I should take that motor out and break it in without it being in the car and bump start it, because by the motor sitting in the chassis and me starting it with so much compression with the rotor start, it just keeps breaking them. So I'm gonna eventually take that motor out and just break it in on something. I'm gonna find something, a chassis, and just break it in on that. But other than that, guys, y'all stay tuned, guys and girls. Y'all stay tuned. More coming, and y'all stay tuned for the running video of the 18SS, because I can't wait to hear the difference in the pipe. See if it made any difference. Hopefully we can run the big block, get that broken, break that 60 miles an hour. And that's it. The MT, I know you're probably tired of it, but it's a good car. I'll probably sit it out until I make it a 2-speed, so stay tuned.